G'day cocktail lovers. I love finding riffs on one of my favourite cocktails, and my favourite cocktails these days tend to be on the boozy side. I do particularly love old New Orleans drinks. Vieux Carré is one of my favourites. I did find a variation on that. Vieux Carré means the old square, as in part of New Orleans, and this takes out the cognac that's traditionally in a Vieux Carré and puts in an aged rum, and the idea was that's got a bit more of a nautical theme, so we'll change the name to Pres di Quai. I apologise for that appalling pronunciation, but it won't get better if I do multiple takes of it. Pres di Quai? To Quai? It basically translates as by the docks, by the wharf, by the quay. So that's what we're going to make today. The recipe says to use an aged Jamaican rum. Well, this is actually a Demerara rum, certainly aged. Eldorado 15-year-old will be using. And for the whiskey, I'm going to use this Michter's bourbon, which I don't think I've made a cocktail with this since I got it, and I like the taste of it, so I'll be throwing that in this one. Also, I am putting it over some of my sexy clear ice. If you want the easiest and most freezer efficient way to do that, I have videos on the channel. I'll actually put a link at the end here on the tutorial of how to do that. It's surprisingly easy, and I'm going to give it a quick taste before I tell you how I made it, and I love those flavours. You know what, I should have done the traditional with the cognac so I could taste them side by side. Oh well, maybe another day, but this is the type of drink I like. Here's how I made it. In a mixing glass we put 3/4 of an ounce, about 22.5 mils of an aged rum, then the same amount, 3/4 of an ounce of the whiskey of your choice, and again 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth. Then we're going to add about 1/3 of an ounce, around 10 mils of Dom Benedictine, and to round things out, 2 dashes of peychaud bitters and 1 dash of angostura bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain it into a rocks glass over a big chunk of ice. Like I said, I used my sexy clear ice, and then I went garnishes. These are not the traditional garnishes for this, but I went orange peel and cherries, and I accidentally got 2 cherries on my skewer. Oh, woe is me. This is just like earthy, rich, deep flavours, and it's not very aggressive considering the booze elements in it. This is not, to my mind, a very aggressive drink. So if you've never tried a really boozy drink, if you go for the lighter ones, the sours and whatnot, no judgment, but try something like this. You might like it, whether you go Vieux Carré or Pres di Quai. I've got to stop trying to pronounce foreign words. I am terrible at it. But I make an okay drink. I like this one. I think you might like it too. Give it a go. Until I see you again, cheers.